The key premise, the axiomatic truth we need to articulate all our behavior from henceforth to pursue that goal of wealth is you need to be a creator. When we speak about wealth creation for the masses, we typically think of or are poisoned by some ideas that have been given to us by other people who are often bitter, resentful about how individuals came to be in the unique position that they see themselves in. Driving the nice cars that they like to see themselves drive in, having a plethora of women following them, nice clothes, nice watches, you get the picture. But what I'm beginning to recognize, and what you should also begin to recognize as a young man, as an inspiring young man, is that wealth creation is a skill, and you can get rich relatively easy without getting lucky, quote unquote, again, because this falls into this idea that those who are in those privileged positions have got there by luck. So I wanted to comment on that particular idea and reference this book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, who is an angel investor and who gave me some inspiration to talk about how you can get rich, very simply, create wealth without getting lucky. This was a tweet storm he put out, I'm not sure exactly when, but it went viral, and I wanted to highlight some of the points he stresses in terms of creating not just richness, money, abundance, but wealth, and what is the difference between that. He begins by saying that you should seek wealth rather than seeking to get rich and having these material possessions. What is wealth? Well, wealth is having assets that earn you money while you sleep. Think about stocks, shares. It could be property. These are not going to be liabilities that are losing you money over time, but are that accumulating economic abundance, again, as you sleep. Passive income is referred to quite often. We need to understand that ethical wealth creation is possible. If you secretly despise wealth, if you secretly despise those who are beginning to reap the fruits of their efforts, then wealth will forever elude you. What is also crucial to understanding is that you're never going to get rich. You're not going to be in a position where you have wealth if you're renting out your time. I often say, if you're not working to pursue your own interests, your own dreams, then best believe you are pursuing somebody else's. That's just the way the world works. You must own a piece of equity in order to live out this reality. A piece of business, some of the things I mentioned before, stocks and shares in some valuable companies that are going to accumulate in value over long periods of time. You will get rich by giving society what it wants, but it does not know how to get it. And you can do this by generating leverage. We need to pick an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. So something that is going to be a service as for the foreseeable future. An invention, a technology, if you were. And don't get poisoned by that idea, technology, as it points to some obscure piece of intellect that we may need to know, like coding or computer science, to be able to develop that. Technology is simply something that is going to provide value, provide a service in the form of, again, a service or a product that is going to make someone's life easier or equate to some kind of value. And this can be in a variety of different formats. One of the key points Naval highlights in this tweet storm is that we should be seeking to sell a piece of technology that doesn't require manufacturing. What do we mean by that? Take a highlighter or a product like my phone, even. A lot of energy is going to go into the process of making that particular product, that particular piece of technology available to you. But fortunately, we live in the technological era right now, and we are able to create products that you can build once and sell an infinite amount of times. So for example, ebooks are a really good way of explaining that. I have a free testosterone optimization ebook, which you can download in the link below. But that is something where I've built once. I built that one book, and as it's in an electronic format, I can sell that multiple times. I give it out for free because I want to build an email list and build leverage, as I'm going to explain in just a moment what that means. Really good example. YouTube videos, same thing. It's a piece of media. It's an asset that's going to accumulate you wealth as you sleep if you've monetized that particular video. Blogs, software, coding, any kind of media is going to be extremely resourceful for you accumulating long-term wealth. I've skipped ahead here a little bit, but I wanted to touch on one of my tweets here that I'm just gonna pop up here. You were born to create, not to consume. The fundamental principle we need to be moving from when seeking wealth is we need to learn how to sell and we need to learn how to build. There's a reason they call it consumer culture now. Just think to yourself, in your day, what percentage of your day is spent taking things in, consuming? If it's this video you're watching right now, that is a form of consummation. Video games, Netflix, TV, food, sex, all you're taking things in. The key premise, the axiomatic truth we need to articulate all our behavior from henceforth to pursue that goal of wealth is you need to be a creator, or as the antithesis of consuming, it's creating. You need to be a producer, not a consumer. If you master, or better than that, if you come to be mindful of what percentage of your days are split into consuming as opposed to creating, you can then begin to move your attention, move your energy more towards that creation principle. And if more of your time and attention and energy is spent in that particular behavior, you're going to start to reap the rewards of wealth. Learn how to sell. I think this is a crucial principle that was also missed out when we went to school. Realize it, whether you're conscious of it or not, realize you're selling. You're a salesman. Whatever your job, whatever your occupation is right now, you're a salesman. You have to sell it. If it's not a product, if it's not, if you don't work in something like commercial retail, you're selling books, for example, you work in a bookstore, you're a salesman. You have to sell the books. You have to pitch the books to the right audience in order for them to buy your product and you to accumulate wealth as a result of that. A service. I'm a healthcare professional. I'm selling healthcare. I'm selling information. I'm selling information that is going to, again, equate to value to specific sets of people with specific sets of challenges. And you can do this for whatever insert your occupation is. You're a fireman. You're selling a service. You're selling a specialized set of skills and knowledge that is going to equate value for a certain individual who is having the challenge of setting their living room on fire. Whatever you're doing, you're a salesman. Learning how to sell your unique set of skills, knowledge, product, services is going to be of invaluable resource to you if you're looking for wealth creation. Arm yourself with specific knowledge. Now, specific knowledge is something more nuanced. It cannot be manufactured. You can't typically train for it. All you need to know is that you are unique in a way that you have your own currency. Whoever's watching, looking through the camera at this particular video, you have a unique set of, again, skills, knowledge, understanding that the next individual is not going to be so competent in. If you can find a way to develop that specific knowledge, monetize it, leverage it, you cannot be replaceable. It's called scarcity. So you have a unique set of skills that the next 1 in 100,000 people will not have. And that makes you of intrinsic value. Moving on from specific knowledge, as it's quite heavily emphasized in this point here, creating leverage. What is leverage? I mentioned that word before. I'm building my email list to create leverage. The quote that I often quote, but Naval also mentioned here, is by Archimedes. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand and I will move the earth. What does that mean? Having more reach, having more eyes, having more opportunity is the essence, indirectly or directly, of this word leverage. I'm building a social media platform on Twitter, which you can follow me at Masculine Theory, where I am building a following, I am building leverage, I'm accumulating the amount of eyes that get to see my service, product, specific set of information, knowledge, understanding. And that is the lever in which I can stand and eventually begin to make a huge difference. Whatever your product is, whether you believe it's low quality or high quality, you can see how the consequence of you accumulating financial income through selling that product is intrinsically related to the amount of eyes that see that product. How am I supposed to know? I mean, you could have the best YouTube channel in the world, the best YouTube channel in the world. You could have the most unique information available on your channel on science, health, whatever the case may be. But if you only have a leverage point of 50 people, it's not going to give you the income, the consequence, which you would like to see come into fruition. Simple point, but it really stresses the importance in which we should be, in this day and age, if you're a young man, or if there are any women watching the channel, building leverage by building a social media following. That's just one good example. Another form of leverage, capital. Capital means the amount of liquid money you have available to you. The more capital you have, the more liquid money you have available, the more you can leverage that into certain positions, typically through something like stocks, investments. Putting all your cash into Tesla are doing exceptionally well this year. I'm very envious of anyone who has any Tesla stock or who bought any Tesla stock at the start of 2020, because they will be laughing. That capital that they've invested at the start of the year is magnified by the value of the company come the beginning of 2021, late 2020. We come on to hear about this idea of code and media being permissionless leverage, again, something that you build once and sell multiple times. And coming to the end of this tweet storm, there is no skill called business. I remember when I was in secondary school, everybody choosing their specific subjects that they would like to pursue beyond the fundamentals like science, English, etc. Business studies. There is no skill called business. Business is an amalgamation of various different skills. Things like game theory. Psychology is going to be of inordinate value to you if you're going to sell to someone. Persuasion, mathematics, computers, microeconomics, all of these skills come together to under that large umbrella called business. Psychology is a very valuable place to start if you're looking, again, to learn how to sell. And again, we all sell. Some other little points Naval highlights here. Reading is faster than listening. I like to think of reading as an active form of learning. Doing is faster than watching. So not just listening to the information that's coming out the screen, but applying it, making it pragmatic. Can you, moving forward from this position, see how a point like leverage is going to be crucial to your wealth creation, and then begin to bring that knowledge into reality by making something like a Twitter page, like a YouTube channel, Pinterest. There are so many different platforms available. And finally, after all these principles have been applied, wealth creation. If you're seeking, when you're finally wealthy, you'll realize that it was not what you were seeking in the first place, but that's for another day. Really, really awesome Twitter thread from Naval Ravikant, and I would encourage any of you who found that interesting. You can buy this book, which I'm just starting now, and it's full of golden nuggets. But you can also follow Naval on Twitter, and I hope it gives you, for the young men watching this YouTube channel, a concrete way to start to see how wealth, the desires that we all have of material possessions, as we all do, we all like our luxurious items now and again, but that it's not so much a consequence of being lucky or in a unique environment such as a rich family, rich upbringing, but it's a skill. Wealth is again, similar to business, an amalgamation of many different skills that you can actually learn. You can learn to be wealthy, and it's not too challenging. And if this is going to be, and this video is going to be a testament to that. I mean, I'm going to clip perhaps even a fraction of this video, and I'm going to use it in a later video and show you how powerful something is like consistency. Just master the art of showing up every single day despite how you feel, and beginning to cultivate your content, learn every day. And even if you're doing 5% of what you should be doing towards your goal, at least it's something. I really believe with the principle of consistency you can achieve anything, because by the law of averages, you keep turning up 7 days a week, 30 days a month, 365 days a year, you are going to move towards your desired goal. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, if you subscribe to anything of which I've said here, you can subscribe to me, and I'll see you again very soon.